Friends, Namaskar. Today I will present to you some unknown facts about Hansa Wadkar. Wadkar was born Ratan Balachandar Salgaonkar on 24th January 1923 at Dr. Bhalerao Hospital in Bombay, Maharashtra. This influence of films was present from an early time. Wadkar's father had three sisters, Kesarbai, Indirabai, and Sushilabai. Sushila was married to Master Vinayak, a renowned actor-director of the early era of Indian cinema. The elder sister as well as Indira Wadkar were acting in films, and Indira was a classical singer as well. Indira acted in several films, including Duniya Kya Hai in 1937 and in Vinayak's production company Hans Films like Devta in 1939 in Marathi. Indira used the surname Wadkar to avoid using the family name Salgaonkar for fear of reprisal from society against women acting in films. Her older aunt Kesarbai was working in a film made by M.G. Rangnekar and suggested that Wadkar work in films to sustain her family. In 1936, Wadkar acted in her first role as a heroine in Bapubai Penderkar's Vijayache Lagne, a bilingual made in Marathi and Hindi, Shadi Ka Mamla. It was directed by Mama Warekar. The film was produced by Pendarkar's Lalit Kala production, its first and last film, as Pendarkar died soon after. When her brother objected to the family name being used in films, her name was changed from Ratan to Hansa, and the surname Wadkar was borrowed from her actress aunt Indra Wadkar. Her salary at the time was rupees 250 per month. The film was a success at the box office. Wadkar worked in a few films after this for different companies, which remained incomplete. She then joined Golden Eagle Movie Tone and learned Hindi from a Hindi scholar appointed for her by the company. She became proficient in the language, working in several Hindi films at the time like Meena, Prem Patra, Jamana, and Rajkumar with Chetan Anand. Marrying in 1937, she had to return to films once again due to shortage of money. She acted in two stunt films in Bhagwan Palau, having joined Harishchandra Rao's company. The films were Bahadur Kisan and Criminal, which was released in 1939. In 1938, she was cast in Jamana, directed by Ram Daryani, starring Padma Devi, who had earlier acted in Indian cinema's first indigenous color film, Kishan Kanya. The other co-stars were Jeevan, Gulab, Amina, and Amirbai Karnataki. She joined Bombay Talkies, signed a contract for 6 years. She enjoyed the efficiency and comradeship of Bombay Talkies. Her first film for them was Navjeevan, directed by French Austin and released in 1939. Film India April 1939 issue commented on the absence of Devika Rani in the film while mentioning Wadkar. Bombay Talkies have given a beautiful story as usual, framed in a more beautiful technique, and once again we don't find Devika Rani in the cast. This time, however, a new girl has been introduced in Hansa Wadkar, new in the sense that for the first time she has been allowed to shoulder the heroine's role. Her next two films were Durga 1939, directed again by French Austin, and Azad, directed by N.R. Acharya. Following the death of Himanshu Rai in 1940, she asked Devi Rani to release her from the contract. Devika Rani tore up the contract, though she still had 3 more years. Wadkar signed a temporary contract with Prabhat Film Company and later wrote that the years she spent at Prabhat were the most memorable ones of my life. Sant Sakhu in 1941 was directed by Vishnupan Damle, Sheikh Fateh and Raja Nene. It co-starred Gauri as Shakhu's cruel mother-in-law along with Shankar Kulkarni, Shanta Majumdar, and Chotu. The music was by Keshavrao Bhole. He was not happy with Wadkar's voice, so Vinodini Dixit's voice was used as a playback singer for her. Wadkar was emotionally affected by the role. Shakhu's role has left lasting memories. She immersed herself completely in the role that I forgot my own existence. Ram Shastri in 1944 was a film from the Prabhat banner, a bilingual made both in Marathi and Hindi. It was a historical biopic about 18th century Chief Justice Ram Shastri. The directors were Vishram Badekar, Gajanan Jagidar, and Raja Nene. Master Vittal, Lalita Pawar, Keshavrao Bhole were the co-stars, with Jagirdar playing the title role. As she did not know dancing, Wadkar had to undergo training for her role of a tamasha dancer. Apna Paraya in 1942 was directed by Ramchandra Guha Thakur and produced by National Studios. It co-starred Shahu Modak, Urmila, and Shangata Prasad with Wadkar. The story was by Khatib and music by Anil Vishwas. Her next film with National Studios was Mera Gaon in 1942, made under the Lakshmi Productions banner. It was directed by Prafulla Roy. The cast included P. Jairaj, Chaya Devi, Aga, and K.C. Day, who also composed the music. Wadkar was 3 months pregnant while shooting for the film. In one of the scenes, a horse came charging at her while she lay prone on the ground. There were a few females standing watching the shooting. One of them was the actress, Miss Moti. They threw themselves on top of her, bearing the brunt of the horse's hoofs. She was 8 months pregnant when the film's shooting ended. She went on to deliver a normal, healthy daughter, her first loving child after several miscarriages. Lokshahir Ram Joshi, 1947, made in Marathi and Hindi, was co-directed by V. Shantaram and Baburao Painter for Rajkamal Kalamandir. Originally directed by Painter, Shantaram completed the shooting when Painter fell sick. The film starred Jairam Shilekar as Ram Joshi and Hansa Wadkar as Baya. It had music by Vasant Desai with lyrics by Ram Joshi and G.D. Madgulkar. Termed as the classical movie Marathi Tamasha musical, it was a biopic of the poet, Kirtan, and Lavani performer Ram Joshi. Set in the Peshwa period, the vibrant Lavani and Sawal Jawabs became a trendsetter while the music and dances enthralled the audiences. Pudachev Palu, the next step 1950, directed by Raja Panchipe for Manik Studio, Pune, was about a young man who runs away from his poverty-stricken family to find a better life for himself. He meets a tamasha dancer who is only interested in money. The cast included Wadkar, Kusum Deshpande, Shakuntala Jadve, and P.L. Deshpande. The music was composed by Sudhir Phadke. Wadkar acted in the film as her husband, Bhandarkar, had signed the contract for her. She stated that from an artistic point, her role as a tamasha dancer in this film was superior to that of Baya in Ram Joshi. मैं तुलास तुझे अज्ञानी, I am a Tulsi plant in your courtyard in 1955 was directed by Raja Thakur for Navchitra Films and had Wadkar in a Vamps role. The film won the National Film Award for Best Feature Film in Marathi and Best Director in 1956. Wadkar considered her role as a tamasha dancer in the film as the best. Sankte Aka was directed by Anant Mane and starred Ansha Wadkar and Jashri Gatkar. One of Marathi cinema's most famous tamasha films, it was a major hit. The film also gave Jashri Gatkar one of her first big roles. The story was by J.G. Parthi with the screenplay by Venkatesh Madgulkar and songs by Gadi Madgulkar. The film went on to have a 131 weeks run in Pune. The four films Wadkar esteemed were Sant Sakhu, Lokashi Ram Joshi, Pudachev Palu, and Mi Tulsa Tujya Aganani, as they marked four important stages in her film career. Bhandarkar and Wadkar were married on 6 September 1937 at Ketan Bhandari Marriage Hall in Bombay. Though she had dreamed of a family life, she had to resume work as Bhandarkar's company was financially unstable. She also had a miscarriage at this time. Rekha, their daughter, was born following the completion of Wadkar's film Mera Gaon in 1942. She went on to perform several plays where she met Rajan Javle, an actor with whom she formed a bond that lasted till her death. She maintained a good relationship with all the female workers. Some of them became good friends, like Lalita Deolkar. Hansa Wadkar died on 23rd August 1971 in Bombay, Maharashtra, India. Thanks for watching.